I am Anil Kumar, author of Rediscover Algebra and Trigonometry. Right from the book, I'm sharing with you a very important concept where we'll discuss percentage change. What we look into is a shortcut method to answer questions related to that. So we'll take up these three questions, but before that, let me introduce you to the concept. You need a fast way to solve percentage change questions in competitive exams. You're about to discover a shortcut that saves time and boosts confidence. Here is the concept. So, when you say 10% change, well, 10% change could be either increase or decrease, right? So, let me write plus and minus as increase and decrease. So, if the quantity is increased or decreased by 10%, friendly numbers to take is what? Original is 10, it will increase by 10%, becomes 11, decreases by 10%, becomes 9. Makes sense, right? Correct. So, so you get the first part. Now, 20%. So if I take 20%, 20% is 20 out of 100, which basically means 1 out of 5. So when 20% is there, in that case, we should see that 5 is the number which, when increased by 20%, will be 1 more, giving us 6, and decrease means 4. So a change from 5 to 6 is 20% increase. A change from 5 to 4 is 20% decrease. You get the whole idea. Perfect. The last percentage which I am going to discuss in this video is 25%, which is 25 over 100, or 1 out of 4. So if I say increase the length by 25%, I can take any value as 100 and make it 125. But that's a big number, right? I could also take 4 and increase by 25% means increase it to 5. Beauty, right? Similarly, from 4, if I go to 3, it means it has decreased by 25%. So, the values shown here indicate initial values, right? So, these are your initial starting values. So, a 10% increase or decrease, whenever given to you, take the length as 10. If 20% increase decrease is given, work with 5. For 25%, work with number 4. That's the key. Great. Now let's look into the examples at hand. So we'll take up three particular examples based on what we have talked and discuss the strategy. You would actually answer these questions in few seconds. Let's see how. So the very first question here, example 1, is if length of a rectangle is increased by 25% and width is decreased by 20%, then the area of the rectangle increases, decreases, or no change. Okay, great. So we're taking a rectangle, let's say length and width are given to us, right? Correct. Since we're talking about 25% increase, right? If the length of a rectangle increased by 25%, 25% relates to 4, right? So we'll take 4 and increase it by 25%, make it 5. And decrease by 20% means width take us 5 and decrease by 25% means it becomes 4. Now what is the area? Area is 4 times 5, which is 20. And for the changed rectangle, it is again 20. So means it remains same. Do you see that? Many could have thought that it will not remain same, but it does, as you can see right here. Important question. Correct. Now let's see what happens in example 2. In example 2, if the length of a rectangle is increased by 10%, right? So 10% means, let's take a number 10, right? Increased by 10%. So it becomes 11. And the width decreases by 10%. Again, take a number 10. Decrease by 10% means it becomes 9. Then find the area of the rectangle. Well, was it increasing, decreasing, or no change? Well, the area in the first case was 100. Second case is 99. Multiply 11 by 9. You see, it decreases, correct? And it decreases by 1%, right? So 1% decrease. You may be required to find percentage change also, right? Then, in that case, it's a straightforward answer. Great. Let's take up the last question now, which is example 3. Here it is. Find the percentage increase in area of a rectangle if each side is increased by 25%, right? So it is percentage increase which we have to look into, correct? Options are given to us, right? So since it is 20%, what is a friendly number to work with? 20% means 1 out of 5, so 5 is the friendly number, right? So in first case, it is 5 times 5. Increased by 20% means 6 times 6. Makes sense. So this area is 25, the other area 66. And now, since we want percentage increase in this case, so we'll do, 6 times 6 is 36, right? Okay. So we'll do 36 minus 25 over the original value of 25 times 100. 36 minus 25 is 11, and then that goes 4 times. So times, let me write like this, we get 44%, correct? So option C, which is 44%, is the right answer. See how fast we could do our calculation and provide the correct answer. That is the beauty of this strategy. I hope you understand and appreciate it. There are many beautiful things given in our book, Rediscover Algebra and Trigonometry. Feel free to contact us on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com to learn more. Thank you and all the best.